Hello Gunters. After one video focused on long bullet barrage and another with normal full burst combo, here comes the turn for wide. Wide is frankly a puzzle to solve on the current update. The other two shell types have a more defined focus. Normal is full burst and only full burst, and long is awesome with hail cutter, wyvern fire and bullet barrage. And wide gets what it gets again. It has two unique features, strong charged shells and stunning wormstake. But in reality its strongest points are erupting cannon and the regular uncharged shells. The title update 5 buffed all those attacks at once, so the result is more or less we got the general picture of the same about shell attacks. There was not any attempt to really buff charged and strong charged attacks. Uncharged shells got a 33% damage bonus, erupting cannon a 20%, and both charged and strong charged only got buffed the same percentage of damage. Strong charges in particular are especially horrible, having lower DPS than regular charged shells because of the increased time to charge them, so once again there is little reason to use those other than fringe cases like waking up a monster. Even regular charged shells aren't too hot because not even the combos including erupting cannon are worth it over the original best combo. Shell erupting cannon shell or variants like poke shell erupting cannon poke shell to reduce the recoil are still the way to go when you want to go pure shelling. Pure shelling got a good buff of damage, about a 24% more because the buffs to both uncharged shells and erupting cannon, but is far from what is the highest potential you can get. Pure shelling reason to be is being able to pack as much skills as you want, but with the inclusion of Heaven Sent for ignoring sharpness skills and the upgrades to talismans is not like you have to struggle to get both top tier defense and get a good offense going. About the melee combos, doing my testings I have found a very fun phenomenon. Everything combo and build I have tried ends with roughly the same DPS of between 8,000 and 8,400 damage in half a minute. And I have been trying all these combos and weapon you are seeing in this video. Before going into the different combos and kinds of builds, and notice that the new Heaven Sent reload has a very similar speed to guard reload. The combos from the Heavenly Reload are also equivalent to guard reload. Still, Heavenly Reload has the huge advantage of recovering your shells, and that can be used after a wyvern fire or full burst. Heaven Sent optimally is best paired alongside quick reload because it allows for faster loops, but guard reload is great because can be used while Heaven Sent is not active. If you are using a poke shell combo, no doubt quick reload would be the best one since you may only heaven reload when your sharpness drops or you want to reload your stake. The overall power of wide has been increased. My best output at TU5 using an elemental dragon conversion build was 7,600 damage in 30 seconds, and now with exactly the very same build unchanged I can do 8,400 damage. That is a 10% improvement. And that is without counting that I can further optimize the build with a better talisman or meldings. Poke shelling no doubt has been able to catch the full burst rotations that were the optimal way to use wide before the update, but is barely any difference. The reason for this is that the full burst rotations also got buffed. In particular, wide full bursting got a huge buff in that besides getting the 33% bonus damage per shell like all other basic shelling attacks also no longer do less damage per shell, so the burst fire is like a 40% stronger than before. Likewise, erupting cannon also got extra damage, so basically the damage of the wide full burst rotations has been buffed in a similar percentage that poke shelling. This is good because even if you poke shell you will want to evade attacks using reverse blast dash, and you can follow it up with slam, burst, sweep and erupting for a chunk of damage before following up with the poke shelling. Outside of elemental builds I have tried some combinations of combos with multiple weapons, especially Garajum and Violet Mizu gunlances, and the damage is uncannily similar. Garajum gunlance is the highest raw weapon in the game, and thanks to the new upgrades it now can reach white sharpness without needing any skill or even augmenting for sharpness. If you use the Heavenly Reload your white sharpness lasts just enough for the longest combo. Garajum raw with attack boost 7 and fully augmented is a 9% more than Violet's, that makes for the 5% extra damage of purple sharpness. Then you have to decide between 3 level 2 decos or a level 4 with a level 2 and a level 1. This is the actual tiebreaker since you can do builds with one you can't with the other. The DPS difference is almost non-existent. So, with all this time for the conclusions. Wide got a big power boost as right now is roughly around a 10% less maximum DPS than normal burst rotations but is a lot less one-dimensional than normal, and you have a good array of combos and styles to use on the fly, unlike normal that is good for bursting and absolutely nothing else. Because of the higher impact of shells, there is not much difference between the better gunlances, and you may use your favorite. Elemental poke shelling is stronger than ever, and I'm sure that against the right target can surpass bursting, but is a lot of effort getting a build going for an element with the right curious rolls and talisman. I have a big shortage of armor spheres to get proper builds on the field, but we'll work on it. So, my conclusion is that while wide can't be considered the meta of all gunlances, is not the joke that was before behind a 20% or worse of the other two gunlance shell types. The gap is a lot less, and you can have the full benefit of using guard reload after nearly every attack for a more solid defense. Wide is great now. That is all. Thanks for watching. And keep tuned for the builds. I have a couple of great ones in the storage. See you in the hunt.